So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K24 Next Gen. In today's video, we are back with another episode of our prospect rebuild series. And today it's going to be Reed Sheppard to the Detroit Pistons. Once again, the Detroit Pistons finished with the worst record in all of basketball, and of course, once again, they did not win the draft lottery. Moral of the story, tanking does not work, my friends. They fell to 5 in the draft lottery once again. Obviously, nobody loves that there in Detroit, and this is a team with a lot of question marks heading into next season. Is it make or break time in terms of Cade Cunningham becoming the face of this franchise moving forward? Is Monty Williams still going to be the head coach looking into the future? These are all questions that very well could be answered this offseason, but the first thing this team is going to address is the number 5 overall draft pick that they do have. Of course, I'm assuming they probably would have had one, but they got screwed out of one last year when there was a generational prospect in Victor Wembanyama. So it doesn't appear to be the case with that here today. I have them, and many other people have them, taking Reed Sheppard at number 5. Man was a 52% three-point shooter in college. He could certainly help out this team. We will talk more about Reed Sheppard and how I kind of think he fits with this Detroit Pistons team once we do get into the video. But of course, before we do, let me know any other video ideas down below in the comments section. This is a very, very interesting time because, of course, we are slowly approaching the NBA Finals. So there's going to be some more offseason rebuilds we definitely have to get to soon. I don't know who it's going to be. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm recording this on Monday. You guys aren't seeing it till Wednesday, so my bad. But yeah, let me know anything else you guys want to see, whether it's challenges or prospect rebuilds, whatever it is. Let me know down below. And real quick, before we do kick off this rebuild, I just wanted to explain something to you guys real quick. I've been seeing an uptick in terms of requests for 5-year rebuilds, 7-year rebuilds, 10-year rebuilds, whatever it is you guys want to see. And I've explained it a few times, but in case you did not see me say it, they are going to be coming once the NBA season ends, once we actually enter into summer, and it is actually the off season. Just because I tend to have a little bit more free time in the summer months, it's not going to mean that there's going to be a 5 or a 10-year rebuild every single day, but there definitely will be a few, probably 1 or 2 a week. Happy I can answer that. All right, we're here in this offseason right now. As you can see, I am in control of many different teams. The answer to that number is 5, and that's because I do not want to screw up the draft order. So we're just going to do the draft order in the way I think it could go, the way I've actually done prospect rebuild so far. Whether you agree with it or not, I don't know. So here with the Detroit Pistons right now. Monty Williams is obviously under a very, very big contract. I believe the Pistons also just brought in a new general manager. And in terms of what I want to do with Monty, I don't necessarily think he is a great head coach, but the ratings for me are good enough for now. We obviously don't have very high expectations with this team, so we'll go on a year-to-year basis with him. And yeah, he is a very, very well-paid head coach. So let's head up to the draft. I'll do the 1 through 5 draft order correctly, the way I've kind of done it before, and the way I think like it could possibly go. I don't really know. So it's going to be Alex Sarr at number 1 overall to the Atlanta Hawks. At number 2, Reza, I mean, I'm just dog shit with names. You all know that. Klingon at 3 is the way I had it right now. It certainly can go a couple different directions. Again, this is a very interesting draft class. You know, there's not any sort of superstar or anything like that. And then I had Topic at 4, and then obviously we are going to go ahead and take Mr. Reed Sheppard here out of Kentucky. At number 5, that is going to be our pick. I'm actually just going to trade away the 2 seconds I have here with the Pistons, and then I'm just going to let it sim the rest of the draft with the other teams I do have selected. So we are good there. Let's sim through the end of this draft real quick. Reed Sheppard is going to be the one and only guy I do draft. The good news about the Pistons is they actually do have a decent amount of young talent on this team right now. So Reed Sheppard, 77 overall, 19 years of age. I think he's actually 6'3", not 6'2", but we're going to talk about him a little bit more. Let me just deselect the rest of these teams. And because we didn't do it before the draft, we'll also talk about this Pistons roster right now. As I mentioned, we could be entering, I don't want to say a make or break year for his future in Detroit, but in terms of being like their guy, number 1, the prospect and the player that they've been building around, I'm not saying it's out of the question that it could be kind of a year coming up for Cade Cunningham. That is very, very important. Obviously, number 1 overall pick back in 2021, was injured this year as well. Super unfortunate. I think he's very, very good. Is he ever going to be that guy? I don't know, but he's, again, only 22. I'm certainly not giving up on him. Marcus Sasser's 23. I certainly can see him being a rotation piece for the entirety of this video. Malachi Flynn, I don't know. I don't really see much of a future here with him in terms of actually getting any minutes as he does enter unrestricted free agency. Shooting guard spot, Jaden Ivey. I thought he was going to take a bigger step here in his second season. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. I don't know if Monty Williams just hates him, but he is not in the starting lineup every night. And I don't know. I like Jaden Ivey. I don't know what we're going to do with him here today, so we'll see. Reed Sheppard, we just drafted him. Let's talk about him a little bit. 19 years old, 6'3", out of Kentucky. Was a 52% three-point shooter on about 4 attempts a game. That's obviously a fantastic clip, even if it is not a super high quality in terms of quantity, in terms of three-point shots. But again, it's certainly something that is doable. And a lot of NBA scouts tend to look at the raw shooting numbers for guys when determining how good they possibly could be coming into the league. So I think he can be good for us. I think he's an underrated defender. I would definitely like to see him be more than just a spot-up shooter. But again, with what this draft class is, that might be what you're getting at number 5. So Reed Sheppard, excited. Quentin Grimes is here. Certainly another piece that we could look to maybe either trade or eventually get into the rotation somehow. Obviously came over to deal with the New York Knicks at the deadline, the Bojan Bogdanovic deal. And then Evan Fournier, goodbye. He's just not going to be here. All right, small forward spot. Azar Thompson just finished out his rookie campaign. Obviously, he's not known for, to be an elite scorer, an elite shooter, or anything like that. Neither of the Thompson twins are. But if that overall goes up and he continues to do many things well, I do not see a reason why he would not be my starting small forward the entirety of today's video. Simone Fontecchio was actually an addition at the deadline from the Utah Jazz. I know there are many interested teams in acquiring his services. Unfortunately, he went to Detroit. I feel kind of bad. Troy Brown Jr. and then Stanley Umunde. I just don't really know what either of those guys are going to be for us. Now, Isaiah Stewart, him and Draymond Green, I would like to see those guys fight each other. I just think that would be wildly entertaining. But he's 23. I don't know how high the ceiling is on him. It's good to see that three-point shot kind of coming in a little bit, but I don't hate the contract. I don't hate the player. I just think I might want an upgrade at some point in time. Chimezie Metu is here as well. Certainly a serviceable rotation piece. I love Jalen Duren. He is 1,000% going to be my center for the entirety of today's video. James Wiseman came over from the Golden State Warriors. A little bit of a second chance redemption, if you will. And then geriatric Taj Gibson is not going to be playing for us here today. So why would I not pick up a $4.5 million option on Jalen Duren? He's 20 years old. And then it's not a realistic rebuild. We all know that. So I will pick up the $19 million team option on Mr. Fournier. All right. Fontecchio for $8 million. Probably not, and I only say that because we now just added another guy in Reed Sheppard. Now, I don't know if he'll actually be playing the backup 3. Probably not, but there's a couple different ways, whether we move Quentin Grimes. I'm not paying Fontecchio $8 million, so you can enter free agency. I don't really want to pay Wiseman $10 million either. I'm not going to lie to you. I would rather him explore other options if he wants to end up coming back here, because the game automatically qualifies him for some reason, but I can renounce it. We're good there. And then same with Malachi Flynn. I mean, why would I bring back a bunch of players who seemingly were not contributing to winning? That just doesn't make any sense. So all of you are welcome to enter free agency. I know the Pistons do have a little bit of spending money this offseason. Now, I don't know if they're actually going to use any of it on anybody who is going to be an actual contributing member to a winning culture here. But, yeah, we have a couple different paths right now. I certainly would not be mindful of a trade if that one came up. So let's see what we can do. After allowing James Wiseman to hit unrestricted free agency, we are now looking for a backup center, and we are going to find that in a trade with the Orlando Magic for Mo Wagner, and we're getting a 2025 first-round pick from them, which, of course, probably won't be anything of serious value, but a first-round pick is always nice to have. Now, in terms of what we're giving up, it's Quentin Grimes, Evan Fournier, and a 2028 second. I certainly could have hung on to Quentin Grimes. I think there is value in having him on this team at only 24 years old, but he's an expiring contract, and ultimately, we very well just may have drafted his replacement in Reed Sheppard. So, Mo Wagner, excited to have him here, excited to see what he can do off this bench, whether it's in a 6th, 7th, 8th man capacity. I am certainly excited to have him here. So welcome to the team, Mo Wagner. I think we might have one or two more moves coming. I would ideally like Stewart to be coming off the bench. I just don't know what move we could make right now ultimately to make that happen, right? Like, I know Pascal Siakam's sitting here in free agency. We could pay him a whole bunch of money if we wanted to, but I think I'd rather hang on to this money until next offseason when there's a really good free agency class. So I think that makes a little bit more sense for us. I will certainly look at the other options here in terms of power forwards like Obi Toppin. I don't hate that idea. I see a couple different options here with Patrick Williams, Achua. I don't love Miles Bridges. So, I mean, if I wanted to do a one-year deal with one of these guys, it's certainly not the worst thing in the world. Actually, Obi Toppin really wouldn't be that bad. But what I really like, Obi Toppin, Isaiah Stewart, I know they're different players, but in terms of pure talent, it's really a crazy difference there. I mean, how much does he want? He wants $17 million a year. No, I'm going to save my money. So Isaiah Stewart will start. In all likelihood, we will be a very bad team again next year. Our first-round pick is with somebody else. I don't know who that is. Let me just check. I'm sure there's protections on it. I'll take it back if not. So let's just go over some other possible options here in terms of a backup. I'd like to get somebody relatively young, like Patrick Williams. How much does he want? $20 million. Good work, 2K. All right, Achua wants like 11. I know I can see it right there. I'm trying to get somebody just a little bit younger. Like Najee Marshall actually isn't a horrible option for about $6 million annually. I don't hate that at all. All right, welcome to the team, Najee Marshall, Wiseman, Fontecchio, Flynn. Again, this is not the typical way I do these rebuilds. I will typically just re-sign all my guys and trade them for draft picks, but a hard reset here in Detroit is certainly needed, and it's certainly warranted at this point. So we are all set. I actually do... I should probably find a little bit of an upgrade at the backup small forward spot. Who are my options here and who is available? Grayson Allen adding another shooter, but is that almost rhetorical with a guy like Reed Sheppard? Maybe a little bit. I could also just bring back Fontecchio, but he probably he wants about $9.5 million. Could bring back an old friend here in Hamidou Diallo. Okoro wants about $12 million. Again, I know you're going to have to pay money for premium players. I fully understand that. What other options here? Like Taylor Horton-Tucker. I actually wouldn't mind extending THT like a 1-year deal maybe. Luke Kennard, also another option. D'Anthony Melton. I need somebody who's just a little bit bigger, right? Because if I want to play him at the backup 3, I mean, THT is 6'4". Burks, I know you guys probably don't give a shit who this is. You know what? Honestly, fuck it. Let's just run Troy Brown Jr. Who really cares? We're heading into a season where we know damn well we're not going to be good. We're not trying to be good. So why would I add to this team even more than we already have? I'll see you guys at the start of year 1. I just want to read you guys something real quick from Fanspo in terms of what the future protections are on Detroit's draft pick. So it was actually a 2024 first to the New York Knicks. That was the original pick that was dealt, and ultimately that was protected. I'll just read it to you. Detroit's first round pick to New York Knicks, protected for selections 1 through 18 in 2024. Obviously it was at 5, meaning Detroit gets to keep it. 1 through 13 in 2025, 1 through 11 in 2026, and 1 through 9 in 2027. So my gut reaction would be that we're in all likelihood going to get our draft pick this year, right? It's probably going to be 1 through 13. And then the year after that will probably not be, 1 through 9 or whatever that was. So that's fine. We don't want to be good. We did not prep to be good. That's just the way this rebuild is going to go here today. It is Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Azar Thompson, Isaiah Stewart, and Jalen Duren. I fully understand this is a Reed Sheppard Pistons rebuild, but ultimately that's not the way it always works, right? You don't just draft somebody and automatically throw them into the starting lineup. So I'd like to start Sheppard. If there was a spot for him, I probably would, but I think there's a higher ceiling on Jaden Ivey. I'm not going to lie to you. But he will be my 6th man, and I'm playing him more minutes than I typically do give my 6th man. At 24 minutes a night, I certainly want to see him shine, and I want him to reach that max potential here in today's video. Also traded for Mo Wagner, who will now be my 7th man as my backup center. Marcus Sasser, who hopefully will still continue to develop nicely. Najee Marshall, who we brought in free agency, and then Troy Brown Jr., who, probably shouldn't be playing, but again, we are tanking, and we are going for the high draft pick. So that's where we're at. I will see you guys at the end of year number 1. Our first season here in Detroit is over, and for that, I am happy. Now, we didn't have the worst season of all time. We went 29-53, but it is certainly in need of some improvement, and hopefully that improvement will happen this offseason. Nikola Jokic, another MVP, another triple-double, goddamn. Devin Carter, Rookie of the Year. I've actually seen this a few times. I always say, it's cool to see guys like outside of the top 10 winning Rookie of the Year, so Devin Carter, congrats. Andre Drummond is an Indiana Pacer. He's your 6th man of the year. Was not on my bingo card, but congrats, Andre. Wemby's your depoy. I just spoiled it a little bit, but Azar Thompson did win most improved for us. Yeah, I mean, if we're going to not be able to really shoot free three-point shots, let's just not do that, right? It's okay. And Clutch Player of the Year, Mike Malone does win Coach of the Year. Okay, we are finally heading into offseason number 2. I know we have to get through the playoffs first, so we'll just look at this and sim through it real quick. We finished as the 12 seed here in the Eastern Conference with 29 wins. There's a look at the Wizards, and then here is the Western Conference. Okay, stats on the season. Let's see how everybody did. Cade Cunningham, really good for us. 23 points, 3 boards, 5.5 assists, 1 steals. I will 1,000% take that out of Cade. Jalen Duren was awesome. 15 and 11, beautiful. Reed Sheppard. Dare I say, I'm not saying he 100% outplayed Jaden Ivey, but he was damn close, and he was playing, 6-7 less minutes a night? Maybe I do have to start Reed Sheppard moving forward. He was 41% from 3. There's an argument there. Right? And I think people don't understand. This guy's an underrated defender at that, too. So, oh, man, I like Jaden Ivey quite a bit. I stand by thinking his ceiling's a little higher, but Reed might have showed us something here. I don't know. So, all right, let's sim through the playoffs real quick, see what happens. We'll obviously have to make that big decision heading into this offseason about the future of this team. It is a Nuggets and a Celtics finals, and it is a Celtics win. Did Denver blow a 3-1 lead? They might have. Jaylen Brown, your finals MVP. Jason Tatum never going to beat the super team allegations. All right, LeBron calls it a career. We obviously can't override that twice. Staff retirement, Steven Salas calling it a career. Hall of Fame, LeBron. Oh, my God. The day that, any single one of these guys calls it a career, my childhood's over. I'm 24. My childhood is over. But you understand. Damn, man. Different era. It's just basketball felt different back then. Draymond Green as well didn't even enter the Hall of Fame. As much as you might hate the man, Draymond Green is a Hall of Famer. All right, let's get into the draft lottery. Our picks projected number 6. I will reconfirm it, but I believe it is 1 through 11. Let me just confirm this. Shit, I had TikTok up. It is 1 through 13 this year. So as long as our pick is not 14 or lower, we get to keep it. Let's see where it is at. It's number 2. Holy shit, we jumped up. We jump up in the lottery, and now we are going to get the number 2 overall pick, which is absolutely fantastic. That is great. I'm probably going to give Monty one more year. I know he has 2 years left on his deal. We actually have 2 years left in this rebuild as well. But now that I'm going to kind of go full throttle this offseason because I think this team can compete, I'll let Monty kind of have one more shot at it. Pistons fans might hate me for that, but that's just kind of where my head's at right now in terms of what we're going to do with this team. So let me get my draft pick back, and I'll see you guys in there. I have my number 2 overall pick back. I actually went ahead and sent the New York Knicks my pick next year, 1 through 10 protected. It's actually 1 through 11, but of course, I'll send it over to you. Get it. All right, so this is where we're at right now. This is kind of where my brain is at anyways. This is the Cooper Flag draft, right? There is finally, a prospect that, is damn well going number 1 overall. At least it seems that way right now. I'd like to get him. I think he'd be a significant addition to this team, and I certainly would only have to give up a little bit to maybe get up to number 1. That's probably a lie, but here in 2K, they're pretty stupid in terms of what is what. All right, I know that the Houston Rockets, I believe, have it, correct? I thought I checked that. They do. Let's see if we can maybe make a deal. They want our first in 29. They want our second in 29, and that is all it's going to take for Cooper Flag. That is fine by me. So Cooper Flag, welcome to the Detroit Pistons. Now, he is listed as a small forward. I certainly can, have an idea to maybe play him at the power forward spot, but we'll figure that out once we get there. I'm not using any other draft pick. Actually, you know what? I'll use 29. I'm going to use 29 because really? All right, whatever. I will use number 29 just because maybe there's a backup small forward I could draft. Maybe not. I have no idea. Florin Badunga? Sounds familiar. All right, whatever. He's my guy. And then, can I trade the seconds now? Seriously? This game makes it so challenging sometimes to trade draft picks, and it makes just absolutely no sense, right? Like, why would this be a deal? I don't know. All right, we do that. We get 4 second-round picks for our 2 second-round picks, and then we have 2 guys here with Cooper Flag and Florin Badunga. Cooper Flag's an 81 overall. That's certainly nice to see. Duran, Ivy, Thompson, and Sasser all coming back. Cade Cunningham is entering restricted free agency. He was the number 1 overall pick. He obviously has a fat cap hold. This is a loaded free agency class. This is an absolutely loaded free agency class, and if I want to go out and make a splash, I got to be careful, right? Like, if I want to go out and offer Jason Tatum a contract, I certainly can, but I have to kind of be careful. Do I have any other free agents besides Cade? It's Mo Wagner. That I'm not as worried about. I have to worry about the cap hold that is going to be for Cade Cunningham and where I can maybe clear up some other money if I had to go in that direction. So I would be an idiot not to make an offer to Tatum. We need a power forward. He is legitimately one of the only ones here, well, Barnes and Mobley, but you get it. So he has 13 offers. Jazz, Nets, and Celtics. Does not look like he wants to go back to the Celtics. So I am going to give him a max contract with a player option and a no-trade clause. I don't know if he'll accept it. We'll find out. And then somebody else that I could offer to. It's tough because, right, you got point guard here with Brunson, shooting guard with Mitchell, shooting guard with Irving. Butler's just a little old and he regresses and never puts up good numbers, which is unfortunate. Oh, man. This stinks. It's not even worth offering Barnes a deal, right? I mean, Murray to another. These guys are all restricted. So I think it's Tatum or nobody at this point. Cunningham doesn't have any offers, so that's fine. So are we going to land Jason Tatum? I doubt it. We do not. That sucks, but we can just build the way we kind of wanted to kind of kick this off. What? He goes to Utah? Missed me with that. I could argue signing Donovan Mitchell is a good idea, but I also don't want to screw up the Reed Sheppard part of this rebuild. He's going to start for me next season. I've already determined that. So that's just where I'm at. Might not be the best idea, but that's what we're going to do. So let's just pay Cade Cunningham. He wants $37 million annually. We'll pay Mo Wagner as well. Again, maybe some of you want to see me swing for a superstar that's sitting there in free agency, but I like the way things have gone throughout this rebuild so far, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I am still going to look to make one upgrade. This might not be the trade that all of you want to see, but I do think Kyle Kuzma would be a nice upgrade in this starting 5. Isaiah Stewart and Florin Badunga is what I'm offering right now, and unfortunately, I don't have a lot more to offer besides this. I have 1 draft pick I can give up, a bunch of seconds, but there's no other players really here on this team that I'd be willing to part ways with. So, how about we shake hands and make a deal, Detroit? Can I get this done with just seconds? I have a bunch of them. Unfortunately, I can't trade this. It's a protection backup for the pick I traded to New York, and so we kind of have to deal with what we got here. I'll give up the first. Who cares? We got it done. All right. I'm not saying that was the best move of all time, but I will certainly sit here and tell you that Kuzma is a little bit of an upgrade over Isaiah Stewart. So I'm excited to have him here. A little bit of a veteran presence on a team. Obviously, he's won a championship before, and I'm very excited about what this team can be heading into year number 2. We've had to make a few tough decisions with this team. In terms of the starting 5, the decisions have been made. I don't really think anybody's really too surprised about them, so we have finalized this. It's Cade Cunningham. Reed Sheppard now moves into the starting five. I understand there's an overall difference between him and Jaden Ivey, but when we looked at the numbers from last year, I wasn't thoroughly impressed with Jaden Ivey. He didn't make that jump that I wanted him to, so now he moves to the bench. Reed Sheppard heading into his second season, I need even more from him if he wants to maintain this starting spot. That's just where I'm at. Now, I'm starting Cooper Flagg. We just took him number 1 overall. There's absolutely nothing wrong with Azar Thompson, who did just win a Most Improved Player award, but ultimately, I'm looking for offensive upside here, 1 through 5. Cooper Flagg provides me a little bit more of that than Thompson does. We traded for Kyle Kuzma, and then Jalen Duren remains our starting center. Now, our bench unit is really, really good, especially our 6th and 7th man. Azar Thompson, Jaden Ivey, still got Marcus Sasser here, Mo Wagner, and then Najee Marshall. So is this team winning a championship? Probably not. I mean, they could. I've been surprised by worse. But this team, in all likelihood, is not going to be a championship team. What I'm looking for right now is to be in the playoffs without being in the play-in. That would be an absolute win of a season for us here. And what I am hopefully considering a development year. That's all I'm really looking for. So I will see you guys at the end of year number 2. A jump in terms of overall wins is exactly what we were looking for, and it is exactly what we got. We go 47-35 here to wrap up year 2, and that should, hypothetically anyways, be a playoff spot here in the Eastern Conference. Luka Doncic, your MVP. Cooper Flagg does win Rookie of the Year for us. Certainly looks like we made the correct decision inserting him into the starting 5 now. Maybe some people are going to be pissed I didn't put Thompson in there, but again, it's all about ceiling for me right now, trying to grow our players where I think they fit best. So Flagg, Rookie of the Year. Dillingham, 6th Man of the Year. He is in Portland. Wemby's your D-Boy. Dyson Daniels, most really? Okay. Halliburton, Clutch Player of the Year, and Jason Kidd does win Coach of the Year for the 61-win Dallas Mavericks. All right, standings. Where were we? We are the 6th seed, so we do avoid the play-in. It's not great, but we still get it done. We have the Philadelphia 76ers in the first round. Here's a look at the Western Conference. All right, stats time. Let's see what the numbers looked like. A little bit more spread out than what we saw last year, but that makes sense, adding a lot more scoring to this starting 5 with the additions of Sheppard, Kuzma, and Flagg. So they all played relatively well. Didn't get the huge jump from Sheppard that I was looking for, but the assist numbers are certainly trending in the right direction while still shooting from a really nice clip from beyond the arc. So, overall-wise, I can live with it. If he's going to be a 14, 15-point-per-game guy while adding this talent, I think I can certainly sustain that. Duren, Ivey, Thompson, Sasser, Wagner, and then Marshall. Rebounds per game was Mr. Duren, and then assists. Reed Sheppard, he led us in assists. Beautiful. All right, we have the 76ers here in the first round, as I mentioned. They are obviously battle-tested. They are good. They added a pedophile. Added a DeMar DeRozan, Tristan Da Silva, Joel Embiid. I know Josh Giddey's case got dismissed. Don't come at me in my comment section. I don't really care. All right, we quickly steal game 1 on the road. They tie it up at 1s. We go up 2-1, up 3-1, and we win in 5. We gentlemen sweep Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers. Now we move on to another big challenge here with the Cleveland Cavaliers. We all know damn well how much 2K loves these Cavs, and they certainly have the overalls to back it up. So here goes nothing against a very challenging opponent in round 2. We split the first 2 on the road, lose 1 at home, lose 2 at home, and then get bounced in round 2. Disappointing and unfortunate end, but ultimately it felt like that was our ceiling, right? It felt like the ceiling was maybe 1 playoff round for this team. I didn't think they were getting much further, and even with that, we were a 6 seed. We upset a 3 seed. So Luka and the Mavericks win it all. Those numbers are absolutely insane, and he's your finals MVP. All right, heading into the final offseason. We have a couple big decisions to make in terms of what we want to do. Oh my God, Steph Curry retired. That's insane. In terms of what we want to do with this team, right? We cannot just run it back. I don't think that would necessarily be the smartest thing in the world to do. But we also don't want to panic and make a move for no damn reason. So let's head into this. Do I keep Monty? I think I do. I think we overachieved. Not overachieved, but I think we maxed out in terms of our ceiling, as we just talked about. I don't think Monty Williams did a job where I don't think the way he coached this team should lead to his firing. I don't think that really makes a lot of sense. We're going to hang on to Monty. Now, I know some of the offensive and defensive ratings maybe aren't the greatest by any means, but I think he did a good enough job to keep his job. That's a lot of jobs heading into this final season. So, draft. We do not have our first round pick. That's fine. We do have our 2027 first back, which is nice, because obviously we can now use it as a trade asset. So, no draft picks this year, which is cool with me. Thompson, Sheppard, and Sasser all going to be coming back here. Qualifying Ivy, Terry Taylor, no, and then Duren. So, we might have a little bit of money to spend. Ultimately, it'd be great to go out and maybe spend some on Luka, but I am not going to give away 2 key pieces here with Jalen Duren and Jaden Ivey, just for maybe a shot at Luka. That doesn't make any sense. So we're going to pay both these guys. I don't think it's insane to say maybe one of Thompson or Ivy has to be traded. I don't necessarily think it's the worst idea in the world if we hang on to both of them, but I also don't want to pay somebody $115 million to come off the bench. So let's see what we can do. I might get some shit for this one, and if I do, that's fine by me. I think Scotty Barnes would be a significant upgrade in this starting five, both in terms of how good he is and in terms of overall. I think it would benefit this team greatly. Now, ultimately, I don't love the idea of giving up 284 overalls for 190, but when we are entering a final, do it all season, it's a move we kind of have to make. So I know the stars in terms of value might not show it, but I really do think this is a trade that I can certainly live with, no matter what the draft picks are that I have to give up. I would be willing to give up all of these draft picks in order to get this done. And just like that, we do. Scotty Barnes, welcome to the team. I think he's going to fit in this team, in the starting five, very, very nicely. And it means that we don't really have to make any other crazy moves, right? We can go out and sign maybe a 7th, 8th man, but I really do think this team is really, really ready to go. So we need to find ourselves a backup shooting guard. DeAnthony Melton is certainly not the worst today in the world. I think I prefer Isaiah Joe. Another really good shooter to come off the bench, backup Reed Sheppard. And then in terms of the backup, what is it? It's power forward, right? It is. In terms of the power forward options, they're probably not elite. I fully understand that. The game will let me bring back Najee Marshall, which I think probably makes sense in 10 minutes a night or whatever the hell it's going to be. So unless there's a trade out there that includes Marshall, I know nobody loves it when I do this, but unless there's something that's just too good to pass up on, which it does not really. Max is here. Well, 8 and 5. That's not bad. I might have to take that. Filipowski's here as well. He actually hasn't even played. What? That's kind of crazy. I could bring back Fontecchio, whatever you pronounce it. All right. You know what? I think I'm going to go with Omax. Olivier Maxence Prosper. I think he makes sense with the numbers he put up last year. Well, how many minutes a game was that? Looks like it was 24. Certainly not going to be playing 24 here, but in terms of upside, age, I think this makes a little bit more sense. So that's the deal. I'll see you guys at the start of the final regular season. Last season was a great jump to eventually be the team that we have in mind. Unfortunately, this time around, it is championship or bust. And I don't know, did we make enough moves? I think the way we kind of went about this rebuild was very interesting. You know, I had a plan in my head to the way I kind of wanted to do this. Ultimately, I thought we had a few more draft picks to play with. That was not the case. And so we kind of made do with what we had. We tried to make a superstar signing with Jason Tatum. He wasn't having it. We sent Buddy out to Utah. And now we decided to kind of pivot a little bit. And this team is still really, really good. So I'm not concerned. I think we will be a top 3 seed. It's just whether or not we are battle tested enough and have a good enough head coach to get a championship in the playoffs. It is Cade Cunningham, Reed Sheppard, Cooper Flagg, Scotty Barnes, who we added, which I'm very much ecstatic about, and then Jalen Duren. Bench unit, Azar Thompson going to be my 6th man here. You got Marcus Sasser, Isaiah Joe, Mo Wagner, and Omax, who we brought in a trade with the Dallas Mavericks. So, you know, is this team championship talented? We'll find out. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 3. I'm a little surprised right now. Last season, this team won 47 games. This offseason, we obviously made a blockbuster move for Scotty Barnes, and one season later, we're at 65 and 17. So I'm certainly going to take it. I'm not going to complain about it when 2K is nice to me, but I don't know. Is this for like a regular season Cinderella run? Like, that's hard, obviously, and that doesn't make a lot of sense, but you kind of get what I'm saying, right? Is this team battle-tested enough? We'll find out. Another MVP for Luka. Elsie Harrington, Rookie of the Year. Rob Dillingham, once again, your 6th man of the year. Another depoy for Wemby. Malachi Branham, new home in Milwaukee. Took Chris Middleton's number and now is most improved. All right. And Clutch Player of the Year, Jason Kidd. Okay, well, we didn't even have the best record in basketball. 67. So 67 wins didn't take the West. Okay, now I'm a little confused because we won the East. 69 and 13. Oh, good. Jalen Green. What the fuck is going on? I don't know. I'm just hopeful that somehow, some way, we do not see one of those two teams if we were to get to the finals. All right, Cooper Flagg, another jump. It's good to see Reed Sheppard going up slow but surely in points per game. Barnes, Duren, Thompson, Sasser. Very nice. Rebounds per game was Jalen Duren, and assists was Reed Sheppard. Okay, thank God we're out in the West. That is just beautiful. Miami Heat here. We've added D'Lo. Okay, interesting addition with this. D'Lo and some Heat culture would... it would be interesting. I'm not going to give my strong opinion on it either way because I think it would be, does he kind of accept the adversity that an Eric Spoelstra-led team would give him? Obviously not here in today's hypothetical. All right, we sweep them. Moving on to the Chicago Bulls, who are adding What the fuck? How'd you get both these guys, right? I don't know. If the Bulls knew how to tank properly, they could have a really good young core right now. But unfortunately, their ownership group and Jerry Reinsdorf's too fucking dense to realize that. We sweep them. Now moving on to the East Finals, and it is official. Surprise, surprise. If we were to advance, we will see one of these teams. All right, Scotty Barnes, we acquired him from Toronto, and now they are, they're back here in the Eastern Conference Finals. All right, they're still having Jaden Ivey come off the bench. I feel bad. All right, we quickly go up 1-0. We have yet to lose a playoff game yet. Up 3-0. What is going on? I don't know. Luka and the Dallas Mavericks won it all last year, and they are certainly looking poised to maybe win it all again this year, but can we maybe pull it off and get it done? I'm not going to lie. I don't want to face either of these teams, but if I had to pick one between the Thunder and the Dallas Mavericks, it probably would have been Dallas. So let's do this right now. Win game 1. Okay, we finally lose a game. Okay, that did not mean to curse this entire fucking series. That's not what I meant. Back home to Detroit. Do not get your backs blown out on the home floor and then have to go back to Dallas for Game 7, and that is exactly what's happening right now. Well, we're showing a little fight. It's too little, too late. All right, well, back to Dallas here for Game 7. It's shitty because we won the first 2 on their home floor, and then unfortunately just lost 3 straight. Fuck. Hang on a minute now. I'll see you guys in there. We have stormed all the way back to make this a 2-point game with 3:30 left. Now, Derek Lively is at the free throw line right now. He's looking to make this a 3-point game. Bro, I mix it. I thought he was going to say brick. Reed Sheppard's got 26 for us here on the night. Got to make sure we get the starters in the game. That makes the most sense to me. Derek Lively, if you could just miss this one right now, I'd really appreciate it, big fella. That would just be fucking awesome. Lively to the stripe. Second one up, no good. Big miss right there as we keep this a 1-possession game. Let's kick it over to Cade Cunningham. Sheppard in the corner. Puts it in, baby. Let's fucking go. 29 for Mr. Sheppard on the night, and now he's got to guard Kyrie Irving. This does not sound like... Okay. Oh my God, Kyrie missed. All right, back over to Cade Cunningham. We have an opportunity to take the lead. I understand there's 3 minutes left. Let's call for the ISO. Who is this guarding me? I can't see a face. Okay, let's call for the screen from Mr. Barnes here. Let's roll to the rim. Back inside to Scotty. Luka trying to play defense. Not going to happen. Scotty's got 13, 6, and 9 on the night. Very interesting stat line from him. I'm playing off-ball defense. Or you know what? Oh, it's Hamidou Diallo, an old friend here of the Detroit Pistons. He's going to drive to the rack. I'm not sure who gave him permission to do that. Well, that's fine by me. Reed Sheppard, stop on a dime. Nope, not what I'm trying to do. Oh, I had a cutter inside with Duren. All right, Cooper Flag, back down Hamidou Diallo, and then spin to the rim. Oh, get physical, big man. Let's fucking go. All 6'9" of Cooper Flag's frame getting it done, and I, again, don't love the matchup of Sheppard on Kyrie Irving, but then again, who do you really like guarding Kyrie Irving? There's not many great options for as talented as he is, so Scotty Barnes... Did I just watch Derek Lively pop a corner 3? Okay, there are decisions. That's not a good one. Sheppard to the rack! Let's go. We extend it to a 6-point ball game with under 2 minutes left to go. Come on, Reed. I need the best defense of your life right here. We're going to try. I can't believe Luka hasn't touched the ball at all. Kyrie gets the tough layup, the left-handed finish to go. But Luka just seemingly hasn't really touched the ball, so I don't know if Cade's just done a good job against him, but... Interesting decisions, nonetheless. We're calling for a screen. Jalen Duren, come give me a screen, big man. And then let's roll to the rim with the oop. Oh, my God. Back to a 6-point ball game. Big buckets down the stretch here from all of our guys. I feel like we're spreading the ball out very, very well. So we just got to keep this up. We're perfectly fine trading baskets with them. They can't afford that. So they got to go. They got to go quick, and then they got to play some defense. Kyrie just put Reed Sheppard on fucking skates. Okay. I'm not going to lie to you, it probably would have been worse if I was on him. Now, I have to be strategic with this, as it is only a 4-point game, but I will try to waste a little bit of time here. I don't want to just drain the clock and then put up a bad shot, but wasting a little bit of time is certainly a good idea. Luka, let's just not play defense right now. Cade Cunningham, little mid-range jumper, he misses. Oh, I thought Duren got the board. Fight! Ball, inside Jalen Duren. Jalen Duren, fucking go. They're still not going timeout. This is interesting. That was a big play by Jalen Duren to fight for that ball. And then Kyrie Irving going to go inside. I jumped. He bit. I bit. God damn it. All right, we're going to waste clock again. It is still only a 4-point game. This one is definitely not over. I'm going to call for the ISO against Luka. Now, Luka, certainly his defense has been better. They're going to come with the double, and Cade Cunningham gets the easiest goddamn dunk of his life. What was that? I just split the guys. Oh my God, that was not a good decision. That was not. a good decision. All right, we are keeping the starters in the game. I understand maybe it would have been beneficial to put in a little bit of a more defensive-oriented lineup, but I don't want to replace anybody here. This has been working. Why would I fix it? I'm trying to deny Luka the ball. I do not want to let him get it. We can't. Irving, a bomb, misses it. They're going to probably foul. Did they get Duren? They might have gotten him. I think they did. What a monster performance out of Jalen Duren, though. Just a beautiful, beautiful way to wrap up this video. So big free throws here. What the hell? That is the fastest release I've ever seen in my life. That's actually insane. All right. Oh, my God. I might have to pull Jalen Duren at some point. It's hard because he's good, but it's just Irving mid-range misses. Luka gets the rebound, stuffed by Scotty. Oh my God, he got stuffed by Scotty. Oh, chills, man. What a way to end it. Scotty free throw number 1 is up and good after we smoked 2 with Duren. Now Scotty Barnes hits one more free throw. This thing is over. Bang. Good night. Such a great way to wrap up this rebuild. I've had a ton of fun throughout the course of this one. We head into Dallas and take Game 7 on their home floor as Scotty Barnes is your finals MVP. I knew there was a reason we traded for this man. I will never forget that block on Luka under the basket. So we defeat the Dallas Mavericks in 7 games, and that, my friends, was the Reed Sheppard Detroit Pistons rebuild. I fully understand, as I mentioned at the open of this video, that a lot of you guys are looking for longer rebuilds. I see the requests, I see the comments, I see the Twitter DMs. I understand. They're going to come. It is all about, timing right now, right? I try to put out a video 5 days a week, and I certainly do not want to, sacrifice some of those days just because I want to do longer rebuilds, right? And even if I were, to try to put one out right now, it's not about the time on other days. It's about the time I have when I typically record. So even if I were to do, say, 3 videos a week, that's not going to change the amount of time I have to record each and every day. So it's unfortunate, but I promise you, once the NBA season's over, once we actually have the draft and free agency, it will be coming. As of now, though, let me know anything else you want to see down below in the comment section. As I mentioned, this one was an absolute blast. It went way better than I thought it was going to, and I really enjoyed it. So, as always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.